Yo, dog, I heard you like randomizers, so we put a randomizer inside your randomizer. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Zelda 1 weekly randomizer weekly. Tonight, we actually have some special flags. We have the random percent 2020 flags that we are running. Now, joining me on commentary is Leslie Pro.
Good evening,
And,
everybody.
These flags?
These flags basically coined the term well, it's basically randomizer inception. There's just like no clean way of saying it other than that. Because you've got a ton of mixed elements that are colliding with each other. Such as you've got a mixed overworld, you've got mixed dungeons, and you start with random numbers of triforces. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of things random, but such as the start screen, and we do have 2 triforces to start.
Yes. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the reason why we're starting with triforces instead of having a random amount of triforces required to enter level 9 is because we do not want a situation where we have an open level 9. We want there to need to collect at least some triforces. So you're going to need to collect all 8, but if you already start with a few of them, then here we go. Looks like Sausage Link has found the sword, and same here on True Gamer's side. We're starting off here in the forest, and we have anything? Ooh, what is that? Oh my, interesting. So it's interesting here because if you see here at the A button, it looks like we've got a plus bombs, but we definitely have a sword. Actually, it looks like we've got a white sword.
Yeah, so that's one of the possible flags as Bogey comes up with the power bracelet. There is a chance of swords getting replaced with bomb upgrades.
And it looks like that's what we have here because you see the A button is a bomb plus symbol. And that, of course, is new to the game. You see that usually only when you're playing with swordless, but this isn't swordless. So I think what this means is that the white sword and magic sword items are replaced with bomb upgrades. I think.
One of the other things that could be possible would be a possible chance of having the money shuffle on. Doesn't look like that's the case as it rolled 30 for the mid.
Ah. And here we go. We've got Camp 4 on Bogey's side. Now the big question here is that what kind of a dungeon do we have? Well, we're going to find out, and it is second quest dungeons on the first half.
Those red bubbles tipped me off. That's a second quest 4, so our first 6 dungeons, 1 through 6, are going to be of the second quest layout. So hopefully our runners are more familiar with second quest dungeon layout than I am.
There is also, it opens up for another interesting thing that you don't see very often, but we could have double meat blocks.
Meanwhile, Bogey ran into... Ooh, I was about to go into zombie mode, but Bogey took a hit before I could really get into it.
Here we go, and it looks like Excise Blue has found level 5, and we know because level 4 was the D, level 5 is the Z. Excuse me, I am Canadian.
So what zombie mode is when a mugger appears and you have a money or life situation, you take the life option at 3 hearts. Link cannot go below 3 hearts, so he goes to a 0 heart zombie state where if anything hits him, he takes a death. Bogey coming up with the wand in 4.
Oh.
That went over the offense, but we started with the book, so as a result, we're getting wand fire today.
We also start with that power bracelet like you were mentioning earlier. So the wand, unfortunately, not quite as useful, especially since we already have access to a better sword. And we do have a second item here in level 4. It is the red candle. That is actually quite a nice find for Bogey.
That it is. Don't have to worry about buying a candle. I mean, you sort of didn't have to anyway with the wand fire, but that just makes things a little bit easier.
Now, one thing that these runners would love to find is the recorder. Not only because of its fast travel, but because we already have 2 dungeons that have already had the Triforce from them. So, unless the warp to dungeons that haven't been defeated is on, then we will be able to warp to those completed dungeons. Which is good because, we might not need to go in there for the Triforce. We might need to get in there in order to get, an item. And seeing what we've seen already with level 4 containing 2 non-essential items. The whole Electroid Gamers here in level 7, and we don't actually know what level 7 is at the moment.
Got a bomb upgrade in 4.
It's very possible that we might also have a second quest, 8, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, and judging by those red bubbles, I believe it would be safe to assume it's a second quest 7 through 9, which would make this a pretty lengthy dungeon. Oh, and he gets bubble tag. When you get hit by the red bubble, that effect stays with you until you find a blue one, get a Triforce, take a drink.
Now, what's really interesting is I don't think that Truncaber lost the use of his sword.
Yeah, if that's the case, then we're dealing with reverse controls. And speaking of things we're dealing with, we are dealing with awful bomb prices as Bogey takes down a Patra to get the Triforce out of 4. Not easy to do with 3 hearts, folks.
No, although that white sword is a lot more useful, and we do have shuffled enemy HP, but yeah, Bogey's not going to have to go back into level 4 again. Won't need to worry about buying that expensive candle either, so that's actually quite good for Bogey at the moment.
I wouldn't call the candle expensive because the price was in the 50s. But then again, last tournament I took down a Patra with using sword beams from the wood sword, which takes even longer.
I thought I saw it at like the 80s or something like that. Yeah, I couldn't actually see the price. I just thought I saw an 8 somewhere.
Actually, hold that thought. The small secret got shuffled up to 12. So we could have a secret shuffle on, but the mid-secret rolled vanilla, so that's also possible here.
And here we've got level 8 here at the grave. Okay, so here we're in the upper right corner, and we can only go down. I think that pretty much confirms that we've got second quest all the way down. Now it is worth noting that second quest enemies and second quest rooms have been turned on by default. So yeah. Oh, and we've got ourselves a ladder block here. Yeah, that pretty much confirms that we are dealing with second quest all the way.
Actually, to comment on something in chat as Sassage Link finds level 2, I see where with these flags you will get second quest dungeons for at least part of the way. As Ice Blue takes a boomerang.
There we go, Sausage Link finding a hidden passage up to an evil room with all these whiz robes. Ugh.
Yeah, this is not a room for the faint of heart, especially the blue ones.
Yeah, but there shouldn't be anything in this room. There might be a drop. I don't know if there's actually a drop in the room. There's definitely not a staircase in that room. That room there could have something, but we are dealing with second quest level 2, so it is going to have a staircase item. Now, getting those red bubbles, ugh, they are horrible. And look, we find a heart container on Excise Blue side, and we get a sync heart with Sausage Link.
So based off of that, I'd call it safe to say Heart Shuffle's on?
Yeah, that's probably right to say, because there's only one natural heart container that comes into the shuffle, and with Heart Shuffle that multiplies it. So
Sash's Link wants no further part of that level 2, and that is understandable, because that looks to be a nasty enemy set.
Yeah, any set that's got Wiz Robes is definitely a nasty set. Yeah, we've got a 12 small secret. And we've got a Patra here up on Excise Blue's side. Meanwhile,
we've got Ice Blue taking on said Patra. I believe he got the lead Patrobe.
There we go.
Trying to Kananiki with the Patra. Patra's got to cooperate here. We got sword beams on at all times, and he gets it. Nicely done.
There we go. Nice move from Excise. Check in here. No, there's no items. And that spot Bogey tried didn't move, so that's interesting. So I guess that means we don't have second quest secrets, or they're mixed.
Excise Blue gets the bomb on the manhandle. It gets rewarded with the raft, confirming Heart Shuffle is indeed on.
Yeah, so what I was saying before about those rooms in level 2 not containing anything special, they definitely can now.
Oh, absolutely, and we've got a Triforce sighting in level 8, but Excise Blue is gonna check a couple more rooms, a maneuver we commonly call a Rick 6.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing else here at the moment. I wonder if Excise is going to grab this Triforce. Yep. Is he going to go back in, is going to search for another item, or do you think he's just going to move on?
I'd say move on at this point, because...
Yeah, he's going to move on. There's a lot more. He's got the Triforce. Unless the recorder is in there, then it's probably not likely that he's going to want to come back in. And look at that, level 7 was just underneath level 8.
Yep, and the power bracelet was definitely required this seed, no doubt about it.
Well, you started with the power bracelet, so it was no big deal. There we go. Ooh. Bogey, unfortunately, taking a death in that room with the compass.
Truant Gamer now trying on the Zombie Link strat. It also gets rid of one of the Mugger rooms for free.
Yeah, so with second quest levels, levels 1 to 9, again, the idea that there could be possibly 2 meat blocks in this. But considering that we've seen most of the things out of level 8, unless that last item is the raft, or should I say, not the raft, the step ladder, or even the silver arrows, it's not likely we're going to find a meat block in level 8. But we could still find one in level 3.
Yeah, because that's where it is in the vanilla.
Right.
Meanwhile, we do have a Goma sighting in level 6 as Truant Gamer gets the Triforce out of 4.
I believe we also saw a Goma in level 7.
We might have seen the same Goma.
Huh. And of course, these being vanilla dungeons, that means that dark rooms are enabled.
Yep, and you can take an educated guess on whether a wall is either a bomb wall or a fake wall that you just walk through.
And here we go. We find this item out of 7. This would be the white sword, but it's actually going to increase X-Ice's bomb capacity by 2. That's not a bad find. That is. He's going to be able to afford the mugger room, and we'll go in here. There's some blue bubbles. That's useful. And look at that. We've got the step ladder.
That's also the white sword item.
Yeah. So that means we started with the white... Did we start with the white sword?
I believe we did in this scene.
Ah. Interesting.
Which is to the benefit of our runners, especially if Mags is unavailable.
That's true. It's likely Magic Sword's going to be unavailable because we found the white sword item, or should I say we found the white sword, and it was just a bomb upgrade. So yeah,
Chat's point, and one moment, quick thing to point out from chat, level 9's apparently in the Gerudo Desert, so the recorder's probably required as Truant Gamer finds level 1 on the coast. Interesting that Truant's not taking a gander at this point, because there's still a non-zero chance that the recorder or the bow could be in there.
Then again, I think Truant might be prioritizing heart containers now after seeing that step ladder.
Which is understandable, because that's a definite must-have item.
Yeah, although we know that we do know it's not going to be required for the Armos item, because the Armos item is just the worthless boomerang.
And you meant the coast item.
Yes, coast item. The coast item's just... Is that the magic boomerang, or is that...
Yeah, that's scrap metal.
Here we go. Get these Lionels in order here. Gonna go check out this dock area. And what have we got here at a dungeon? Oh, we just got a whammy.
Yep, unfortunately for Excise Blues, as LOZ Cards Fan 23 would say, stopped on a whammy!
Oh my goodness, that game we played of Press Your Luck the other night, 61 whammies.
Oh my goodness.
61.
That's insane. I mean, I knew the Press Your Luck board could be evil at times, but that's taking it to a completely different level.
Yes, right now, so we got double level 4s, Excise and Sausage. And oh, here we go. There's a heart container for Truant Gamer. That is good. That's going to get him almost the way to a guaranteed step ladder. Just needs one more. He could try now if he wants to, but there's a chance that it might not be. And oh, there's another money guy, so bleh. We did see some bait that was 59 rupees. So that bait might come into play, it might not. It all depends. Now we do have the Triforce out of level 3. That's one of the Triforces we started with. So it's possible we may not even need to step foot into level 3 at all. Unless there is, of course, an essential item. And at this point, in terms of essential items, I think it's just the bow and the silver arrows. Or the recorder if the recorder is required.
Speaking of... Ice Blue, taking a death to the Patra that's guarding the Triforce.
And of course, depending upon your ability to dodge, I'd say that red ring is also rather essential. And of course, we've been kind of lacking in keys, so again, that magic key would definitely be something that these runners would love to see.
This time, Excise Blue chews through those patrobes and the Patra. Very well done.
He's saving that Triforce for later. That's a good move. If we need to come back in here, that means that the Patra is going to stay dead.
Or if he... Good.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the main reason why in the original Legend of Zelda, you never see a boss guarding a Triforce. You always see them guarding a heart container, because obviously the developers knew that if you were to grab a Triforce in a boss room or any room, those enemies, they're going to come back. That boss flag doesn't get set until you leave the room.
And one reason you'd grab a Triforce piece that you already started with, there's a couple I can think of. One would be a free health refill for, say, level 9. Or you got hit with a blue bump. Or you got, not a blue, I got Majora's Mask in the brain, red bubble curse.
Yeah, it's good for either a red bubble healing, regular health healing, or maybe you just want to get out of the dungeon and you don't want to up an A.
That's a mean place for that key to spawn game.
It is. Yeah, unfortunately, this seed is rather nasty with all these whiz robes. There is a way, though, to circumvent that locked door. But I don't think... There we go. All your base are belong to us. We can't grab it at 4 hearts. Sorry, Bogey. Oh, but that ladder would definitely be something that Sausage would like to see at this point here, because we've got a Chevy room here.
Oh, shoot.
No, shoot. And unfortunately, Sausage being locked in with a Dig Dogger. Ooh.
Truant went for the heart, but unfortunately, a path just would not open up. Even at 6, a 7th would be good. 6 is good, 7's better.
Now, we didn't see anything there. Didn't we say that we received a hint for the desert in level 9?
I believe someone in chat caught that hint.
Ah. But I don't know if we have deceptive or helpful hints on. That's the thing.
Oh, so deceptive hints can be a thing in this too. All I'm going to say about that is, oh, that's nasty. I say that with reason because I saw one night where a hint was deceptive in a seed that did not have the option turned on, and there were a lot of unhappy campers after that race.
Oh, is that the one I'm thinking of where it said it said something about, it was a deceptive hint, but it turned out it was just meaning that you needed all 8 Triforces?
No, not quite that. What happened was the old man said the silver to kill the beast lies elsewhere when the silvers were actually in 9, and there were a lot.
Wow.
Oh boy, there was a lot of salt after that one.
So maybe...
And actually we've seen level 9, so it wasn't a hint. I must have missed it.
Oh, here we go. We've got a bomb upgrade in level 4, which is where it naturally resides. I am the terror that flaps in the night.
Okay, Batman.
That's not Batman.
Nasty bit of combat on Ice's side here.
And let's see, so Truant Gamer is going to be one to pick up the ladder first.
I don't think I meant to go through the door transition, but the game registered it, so it still happened anyway. As it was Darkwing Duck. Ah.
Bait is people.
And we've got an old man memeing in level 4. I see. So Ice is going about this room the other way. And when the blue wizrobes get stuck, she open season to open fire on them with sword beams. Because that's also a flag that's possible here, to have sword beams regardless of health.
And it looks like that's what we've got here in this case. Okay, it looks like there's nothing in this room here. But we already saw both of the items out of level 4 and the Triforce. There we go. What have we got here? Medium secret? It's a small.
Ice still not done here.
Ice is still looking for that second item, and we know the second item is the wand. Actually, wait. What is Ice actually looking for? Must be looking for the heart drop.
Yeah, chat just mentioned what I was about to bring up. We have not seen the floor heart, and with heart shuffle on,
Yeah.
there is a chance it could be something. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if that dig dogger has it.
It looks like Sausage is going to cash out. And come back later. Probably good idea to come back later when you're a little more heavily armed. Although White Sword is pretty good to begin with. But, you know, having the ladder for mobility, having a ring. You don't really need a ring, but I mean, I need a ring because I am terrible.
Yeah, one helps me out quite a bit, I'll admit.
Ooh. As Laws would say, it looks like we're dealing with the poverty sea here. Did you see that secret? That's only 59 rupees.
Oh, I'm paying attention to Ice Blue in a very tough combat room with bubbles, turrets, and whiz robes. Oh my.
And a dead
Takes
link
it
on the
down
floor.
to 59. That makes this a borderline poverty deluxe. Ugh, that's disgusting.
One good thing about it is 59 is just enough to cover the cost of bait. So if that bait ends up being required, that is at least something that you can grab. Now, I don't know if we've got 3 large secrets in this overworld or not.
That is a question we shall have an answer to eventually, I'm sure.
And here we go, level 7 on Truant Gamer's side. Let's start bombing around here. No, can't go that way. I don't know if he knows if level 7 to 9 is, you know, the second quest, or as I like to call them, the 7 and 8, the Spirals of Doom.
That's a good name for it because trying to explore those with all those stairs.
I mean,
Ugh.
you could even call it something nastier, like, I don't know, Spiral Cave.
No, that's for a link to the past,
I'm probably gonna get no Jiggly in the morning for that one.
You could have gotten one right now instead, but I figured I'm behaving.
Well, anyway, here, so more level 7 here on Truant's side. We found the item in level 7, did we not? I think it was...
Yeah, it was a bomb upgrade. Only 2
Yeah, that's
bombs, though.
The red candles being marked as in level 7.
Had that in 4.
Yeah, that was in level 4. The raft
5
was in the...
is enough.
Here we go. Sausage Link has the step ladder. Now, we haven't seen... Well, we've seen ladder blocks, but I don't know if we've seen any required ladder blocks just yet. We've seen a ton of mugger rooms.
I want to say we've seen all 3, or have we only seen 2?
I want to say that we've seen 3 of them so far. Wow, those bombs are fairly expensive. The keys are cheap, though.
Yeah, the cheap keys might be of benefit if this is a key-starved seed.
Anyway, Sausage Link is going to make the rush into level 1. Instantly, we're greeted with the Patra. Going to use the combination wand with the white sword to do not enough damage. Unfortunately, at this point, you just can't tank the Patra.
Nope.
Ooh.
Oh, hey, there's
the recorder. And it's free on the ground, and I mean, you either need to, well, there we go, there's the other item in level 1. Now we're just missing the floor item. Actually, wait, this is level 1 second quest, so there's not going to be a staircase item.
Correct. So now, hey, watch this Gleok have the Triforce.
Yeah.
I said that with as much sarcasm as I could muster. That's basically what we call a drive-through, folks.
And it's even funny, too, because you already had that Triforce piece.
So you get a free health refill on top. Drive through to the next window, please and thank you.
Or, as some people say, commentators curse.
That too.
There's another popular saying called burn the witch.
Not today.
No, not unless we find something silly like a Goma blocked silver arrows that's also bait blocked. With a bait block bow.
Hey, we got paper.
Yep. We haven't really seen many take any locations, have we?
I must say we've only seen a couple of them.
We've seen one at least. So let's see. So here's the compass room. I think Excise died in this room before. And is going to die in this room again by the looks of it.
Yeah. Oh no, got saved by the bubble.
Yeah. I mean, that is one good thing about reverse controls, is once you're used to reverse controls, the bubbles don't do anything other than reverse your controls. Probably the nastiest of all the, the bubble curses, of course, the 2 of them have been added, by Fred Coughlin, the creator. Along with reverse controls is the slow walking. And that's the nastiest.
God. If I had to guess, you'd be moving at the speed of a blue wizrobe trying to walk around, meander around on the ground.
It's worse than that.
Oh, God.
Okay, so it's like walking on one of those overworld ladders, only all directions.
Okay, that's just disgusting.
Yep, can't do any block clips. Can't run away from enemies. Okay, here we go. Nope, that's just a connector. Bogey also here in level 5. And Truant's an 8. There's the Triforce. And the Triforce could possibly be bait blocked. We haven't seen those bait blocks yet.
Pretty big emphasis on yet, because we know they're out there somewhere. We just haven't found them.
Well, the good news is if you walk into a bait block room from the north, it's probably not likely you're going to need that bait.
Oh, hey, there's a Triforce in 6, Ice being the first to grab it.
There's a heart container for Truant.
So chat points out that the regular bubbles are still going to cause the usual headache of temporary swordless, but the good news there is that it's temporary.
The bad news
Whereas
is that
red, that's the reversal.
yeah. Well, yeah, that actually makes the flashing bubbles even more annoying because that means that it's going to go away, which means your controls are going to get reversed. And, that's going to make... Hey, wait a minute, that was a one-way passage. In level 5? Interesting.
A one-way passage?
Well, okay, so there's some... in Second Quest, there are actually some staircases, like the one that we see here on Bogey's side, where you can go into it, but you actually cannot, take the staircase inside that room. There's a couple of ones that don't have a staircase period, but that one actually does. You can actually move the left block on the left block on the leftmost pillar.
Yeah, in the chute, but you can never go back to it.
No, and it's funny.
I believe that's a thing that's in Second Quest 9 in the vanilla game, if I'm not mistaken.
It's in Second Quest 9. It's also in Second Quest 8 as well. So that is a legitimate room. But it's interesting in the sense that it's not technically a one-way. There are ones in level 8 in the Second Quest that just plop you out into a room that has like zero blocks to push. Like
a Chevy room.
No, not a Chevy room. It'll actually drop you off into a river room.
Could have swore I saw a Chevy room in a race once under that circumstance, but
well, that's what I keep trying to beg Fred for is a Chevy room with the ladder inside, and you have to find a secret passage to get into the middle of the Chevy room to get the ladder to get out of the Chevy room. I want that to be a thing.
That might be a masochist type deal, admittedly. Truant unable to outrun that Patra and goes down.
There we go. That's the item for sausage out of 5.
Up to 8 hearts now.
Now here's a Goma room, but this Goma is not going to contain anything valuable because that's a dark room.
And right next to that is a double Moldorm room.
You only need to
Before
kill half of
Moldorm
them.
became known as basically became known as the Troll Dorm that it's known for in A Link to the Past.
Yeah, the Moldorm got a bit of a facelift, and well, it's significantly worse than it was before. In the meantime, Landmola's actually rolled down when it, ported from, from 1 to 3.
But it's probably the most annoying fight to try and get down for the NMG and Master Sword runs, as Sausage Link has the Triforce out of level 5.
Yep.
Oh,
And
gee,
you're
that
gonna
noise
see-
sounded familiar.
Yeah, so it looks like, well, Sausage might not have, the warp tunes activated. Or that
Or
could
it just
actually
might have
be
been.
that
Who
could
knows?
actually be Super Mario 3's warp whistle tune.
And it does look like the recorder is leading our runners to unbeaten dungeons, so that can come in handy in terms of exploration.
So that could also be a problem because it means that you won't be able to find level 3 unless you look around. And again, we don't know the status of level 3. There's 2 items in 3, both floor drops. And one of them has the potential of being blocked by the bait. Unfortunately, I mean, it could be the bow, it could be the silver arrows. I think those are the only items that we absolutely need. Okay, so that gravestone doesn't push. And the other gravestone didn't push, really?
Oh, that's nice. Ice Blue coming up with the any key in level 3.
Oh, and that is where level 3 was located, right here.
Yep, in the grave near a large secret at First Quest 6.
Ah.
Was that the one you saw earlier, or
was
was it a different one?
That was the one where it's like, wait a minute, both gravestones didn't move? I didn't see Excise entering level 3, so that explains it. Here we go, level 5 on Truant Gamer's side. We got level 8 on Boogie's side, 6 on Sausage's side.
And Ice now up to 8 hearts.
But right now, Ice definitely has the exploration advantage with that any key in his pocket.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Keys are not going to be an issue for him, and that's going to be to his advantage, as currently, between the other 3 featured runners, we have a combined total of 2 keys.
Yeah, this is definitely looking like it's been a key-starved seed all this time. But that's about par for, second quest.
I was going to call that par for the course with Zelda 1 Rando, but sometimes that depends on the seed.
So in the meantime, it looks like we've got enough information to give at least a partial item recap. We know that level 1 contained the recorder and it contained a heart container. Level 2 had a heart container. I don't know if we saw what the other item was.
I sure as heck didn't see it.
Yeah, if we haven't seen it
Because it was
yet.
a nasty enemy set.
Yeah. Level 3 contains the any key. I don't think we saw what the second item in 3 was. 4 had the red candle, and it had the wand. 5 just had a heart container. Level 6, I guess level 6 we had the Lord Banana.
Yep.
Level 7 looks like, yeah, it was the white sword. 8 had the raft. So we've still got a couple of places left now. I don't know if important items are in level 9 or not.
Yeah, that is definitely a variable that could be a thing for this particular flag set. So we could have a bow in 9. Silvers can always be in 9 regardless, because that's where they are in the vanilla game. We also had an Armos item being the power bracelet at the Forest Armos.
Yeah, we could have an interesting situation. It's always very possible we could have a situation where you need to go into level 9 to locate the bow, buy some wooden arrows, go back to a Goma, beat the Goma to pick up the silvers.
Well, if that's the case, then Bogey's covered because they've already got wooden arrows. Unfortunately, they just also get got by a spike trap.
Yeah, watch out for those spike traps. They're no fun.
Oh no. If you think they're bad in the 3D Zelda games, try dealing with them here, because this is where they originated.
Along with every other Zelda thing ever.
I'd say just about every Zelda thing ever, because there were some other things that were in like Zelda 2 and A Link to the Past that didn't generate here, but that's another conversation for another time.
So it looks like Excise Blue's back in 2. Going to, get jiggy with these wrist-robes made of blue.
That was the Triforce room! Oh my goodness, that is disgusting! That is not easy combat, folks.
So that takes care of that department. Now we just need to find out where that item's located.
It would be fitting if it were that room with the nastiness before the Triforce, because, as LOZ Cards Fan 23 would say, the game knows.
The game knows that you know that the game knows that you know.
Oh yeah, and we have found where the magical sword item is, and it is indeed a bomb upgrade, so the bomb upgrades have taken over the sword upgrades.
So there's the staircase item out of 2. We already know that. That's old news. Just need to find that drop item, because at this point in time, we're getting down to a few items that we really, 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 really want. Now, if I'm not mistaken, any item that we already possess, such as the book could still be found in a dungeon.
Yes, it can.
So
Not
we could
that
have
it
the book.
would do anything.
No, it wouldn't do anything. It would just add insult to injury.
Yeah, and here's one that's insult to injury. The book is not an atlas in this scene.
The book's not in anything in this scene. The book is just ugh. But I mean, we could have a random percent seed that has boomstick, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that to be a thing, and I have to. Hey, there's a bait block, and
So,
the enemy is memeing.
Yeah, so that's one bait block that's definitely not required. So now Excise is going to be taking down these whiz robes here. This could be our item, this could be nothing.
That'd be a pretty gross place for the map to be.
Yeah, especially since we don't need a map because we're not dealing with dungeon shapes. Not in this room, not in this seed anyway.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that room is nothing, and then the
No.
reward is locked in with blue whiz robes, but only one bomb. Ugh.
Somebody say more
Well, there's the
wizards?
heart.
Alright, so that's level 2. Level 2 is complete. We don't need to go back into level 2, at least on Ice Blue side. But we still haven't found any of those required items, the bow or the silvers. And at this point in time, those are the only items that are required that we have left to find.
But chat brings up a point. We may not require bow and silvers if the room to where the kidnapped is located is open.
You know what? It sounds to me like it might be more and more likely that we might have again in this seed.
And even if we do have to deal with Ganon, it might be a 1 HP pig kill.
That's true. But 1 HP big kill still requires those silvers. So there's a lot of different variables, and I mean it is going to be a second quest level 9, and level 9 of the second quest is not entirely a terrible dungeon. It's definitely a lot smaller than level 9 in the first quest.
Certainly is. True getting the Triforce out of 5, but it certainly is one that can be a little bit on the annoying side to navigate, if my memory of watching a second quest run of that.
Well, the vanilla game, there's a few tricks. Like the game definitely throws a lot of tricks at you. And that's what the second quest loves to do. It loves to throw tricks at. What it does is it goes, oh, well, okay, you have this game memorized. You know everything. Guess what? Rooms that never had a push block now contain push blocks. We're not going to tell you about those secret passages that you have to push on in order to get to the next room. I don't know how I figured that out when I was a little kid.
Well, kids tend to try things that adults wouldn't think of, and for whatever reason, they work.
I think that's kind of how the developers intended for this game to be. They were like, well, you're going to bomb every wall, you're not going to just look for obvious clues. You're going to, search around. Which is just fine by me, because if you're going to have a game about exploration, then you better well have, better have your exploration be rewarded. I can think of a ton of games where your exploration is just not rewarded at all.
That could happen in just about any randomizer, really. Where sometimes your exploration pays off, other times, nope.
Oh, I'm just talking about vanilla games in general. Some games give you this large, massive open world, and they go, "Hey, try and find all the secrets." Oh, we didn't really put any secrets in. Just play the main game. Imagine Breath of the Wild without, the stuff that makes Breath of the Wild, Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it wouldn't be nearly as fun. I'll say that much right now.
Sometimes the main quest is the side quest. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, a number of folks can say that about about Xenoblade Chronicles, which, speaking of, definitive edition later this year.
Now, personally, I'm waiting for the Trials of Mana remake. I tried the demo, and I absolutely adored it. I do recommend it, unless, of course, you don't like people who speak with the ooh accent. But that's coming up in a month. But in the here now, we found X-Ice Blue just obtained the step ladder. And level 1 is going to go up, get disappointed by this. What was that, a Patra?
Yep, that's a Patra. The any key is going to make that trivial. Don't even need... Well, gonna deal with it, even though even though
I might have
everything
a map.
else is. Yeah, I mean,
Don't
it
we
could
want
be. I mean, after all, the hint patcher has the map or something.
we need confirmation that we're in the letter E. Nope, it's just a key.
Yep.
Excise is taking a look at that shiny thing and going, I've already got one of these. I've got like all of these. So now Excise just has to go south here, grab this recorder, and that's it.
Yep, doesn't even want. Well, he would have missed something hilarious if he had gone one room north and killed a Gliok. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
But I've already got one of these. So yeah, so at this point in time, Sausage Link missing the Trifaust of the 2, 4, 7, and 8. Excise is missing 5 and 7. Bogey's missing 2, 6, 7, and 8. And oh wow, look at that. Truant Gamer is only missing the Triforce out of level 2.
Yeah, and the 1 and 2 is the real nasty
Truant's
one.
being held back by all those Wizrobes. Ah, there we go. 59 for a Coke. So that's what he's looking for. He's looking for that, Coke. Got to give a little bit of that, extra caffeine in order to take down those Wizrobes.
Yep, sometimes you need that little extra bit of energy to power through.
Speaking of powering through, well, he didn't get that, so back to start.
These combat rooms for okay, that like is actually keeping Truant from taking fatal damage from a red Wizrobe beam, which does 4 hearts of damage. That's the room he needs to clear out, as that room has the Triforce. He doesn't know it yet.
So he's pausing, so he might be considering whether he's going to try. Nope, he's going to just leave.
I'd say I blame him.
No, he's gonna try and see if he can get through some of these rooms without hitting these bubbles. Oop, there we go. Oop.
Yep.
Oh, we've got more bubbles down here.
Couldn't avoid him that time.
And we got more bubbles.
That's more bubbles than a bubble bath.
And of course, we've got this. 1 hit left. He's getting his potion ready, and he's like, well, "I'm gonna use this potion here." Unfortunately, these Wizrobes, not what we're looking for. Just gonna go on through, push. Finds the second item.
The problem's going to be picking it up here, because these blue Wizrobes and the red are basically camping him.
Don't you just hate it when people camp out at spawn?
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to keep going in this direction here. Yeah, definitely using the likes as a shield. Considering most runners don't like to pick up that shield.
I mean, it does help when it's given to you. Just don't lose it to a like, because if you get grabbed by one, you basically have to kill it in like 4 seconds, or else you'll lose it.
Yeah. Oh wow, those Vires are squishy. We have been dealing with shuffled enemy HP.
take Sausage Link down.
Ah, here we go. And it leads all the way over here. Oh. More. Oh no, he's gonna try and take down these Wizrobe rooms here. Oh.
Gets caught in the doorway.
Yeah, he's gonna need to refill on bombs if he's gonna want to try and find this Triforce. But unfortunately, right now, he's kind of on the wrong, he's on a fool's errand, as it were. Does manage to pick up some more bombs, though, as a lucky drop. But he's not prioritizing that one room up there.
And Sausage Link has an Aqua Mentis, and it's just 3 shots with the beams from the white sword, and it's done.
Yeah, so
He
Excise...
just walked past the manhandler that has the wrap, opting instead to go for the Triforce, which is now picked up.
Yeah, we know now that that raft is a dud. I mean, well, the raft is always... Well, there we go. We found the book. That is our second item in 7.
Yep, and it was guarded by a dig dogger.
Mm-hmm, but it's only the book, so... So that means Excise only has to find the Triforce here, and he's eligible to enter level 9. And of course, like I mentioned before, the difference between this tournament and the last randomizer, the last random percent tournament, is that instead of having the entry to level 9 taking so many Triforces, instead start with the Triforces. And that's done on purpose because that eliminates the need to go find level 9 in order to find out what your goal is. So the goal is always going to be all 8 Triforces, but you're going to start with some of them. So you may start with 7 pieces of the Triforce, you might start with none. But you're not going to start with... I don't think you're going to start with 8 pieces... Well, you might start with 8 pieces of the Triforce. I think that might be possible. But
Not
anyway,
sure on that one.
The whole point is, though, is that if there's going to be an open level 9, you're not going to need to check to find out if it's an open level 9. Also means
Meanwhile, we can't get their audio, but here we are.
And there we go. We can go in 3 directions. And so far, just got keys here, so things aren't looking too bad. This might actually be a simple level 9. Now, we still don't know where the pig is, we still don't know where the princess is, and we don't know if we're going to need the pig to kill the princess. I mean, the princess to kill the pig.
Yeah, basically, we don't know if Ganon's required, but we are still after the tools necessary to kill Ganon in the event that becomes necessary. And as usual, we are looking for the usual roar and adore routine should it come to that.
Yep, it could be just one wrong turn and it's all over. Right now, the most important thing to look for would be a compass. Once you find out where the princess is located, you can then try and see if her cell is open or locked.
And there we see the map for level 9, which is basically an 8-bit version of Ganon's face.
Yep, and of course, remember, since we're dealing with vanilla shapes, there's going to be dark rooms. Anybody who's used to running, shapes, is always like level 9 dark room. That means Ganon. Not necessarily in this case. There's the compass.
And she's not too far off.
Okay, we might actually have a dot done here. We will see in a moment.
No pass through. What about a bomb?
Gonna try that. Go here. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, if Zelda's in her own room, then you wouldn't be able to get in from the top or sides. You'd have to get in from the south, which is the angle that's being tried now.
Does it open? It does not open. Oh, but wait a minute. This could be a shutter door, like a regular shutter door. Let's just double check here and see if we can. And with that, we get the confirmation that Ganon is required, which means the silver arrows and the bow are required.
So it's time to go on an item hunt, because now with that bit of information, we've got the door, now we just need the roar. The roar will be the roar of Ganon when you're adjacent to him, but we still need the bow and silver arrows, so we're also on a bit of an item hunt here.
So we're not even in go mode yet.
So rooms like this that have a push block for a staircase, definitely want to check those out.
Yep, there we go. And there's the red ring, which, you know what this means? It's very possible the silver arrows are actually here in level 9, because red ring, forcing red ring and silver arrows to level 9 is a flag.
That it is.
So looking for the silvers here is definitely a good idea.
Yep, even if it doesn't lead to the bow. I mean, if bow winds up here, then that'd just be crazy.
Now, there is one thing about level 9 in the second quest that you need to consider as Truant Gamer enters into level 9, is that level 9 has significantly fewer, staircases. There's the 2 staircases that lead to the items, but in terms of connector staircases, those ones are actually a lot less. Most of those staircases were actually put into second quest level 8.
Yeah, which makes that a pretty long dungeon to go through.
Yeah, level 8's actually quite insane if you don't know where anything is. There's one path to get to the magic key. There's another path to get to the wand, and it's got a lot of secret walls. And then there's yet another path to get to that Triforce. There's wrong turns that will lock you out. There's wrong turns that'll make you pay. Level 8 in second quest is level 9. Everything but the fact that it isn't the level 9 slot.
So the Great Equalizer without being the Great Equalizer. Makes sense.
Now it looks like X-Ice Blue noped here out of 9. But we're going to try some of the other levels to see if the bow and silvers are there. That's interesting that he would nope out so quickly, though. Because again, we know one of the items, and it looks like Truant Gamer's about to get that information that Zelda is here.
And it looks like Ice is going to start with level 5.
Now, did we find that second item in level 5?
I don't believe so.
There we go. If you wanted to hear what the song was, there it is. Unfortunately, I've got my volume too low, so I couldn't quite hear what it is, so...
It doesn't ring a bell to me, admittedly, as Sausage Link gets the Triforce out of level 7.
Now, here's a possibility for this being the silver arrows, is it? Nope, it's just another staircase. There's 2 staircases we've seen so far. And here we go, this leads up to this room here. Now, do we go up or do we go right? Well, I guess considering the fact that Truant doesn't have, more than, well, it was 2, now 3 keys. Oh, it looks like Excise Blue's here back in level 7. But he already saw the book. Oh, here we go. There's a Goma. But wait a minute. We did see the staircase item out of level 7. This could possibly be a room here in level 8 or is level 9. Nope, it's not. This one could be. In fact, we're getting pretty close to where the vanilla level 9 second quest silvers are. In fact, nope, that's just another staircase. So that's 3 we've seen so far. Good news is, though, is that there's not a whole lot of staircases left. Oh, and look at that, it only just led 1 room away.
That's just the game being a troll.
Game being a game. So that, if we couldn't push that block, then that means there must have been a wallmaster in there or something.
Well, we got the map.
That's the map, so there's not going to be a pushable block in that room. Looks like the item might be on the other side, but if he keeps going up here... Well, this is where the compass was. I'm not going to say no to those extra bombs.
So Ice is back and forth trying to dig out that floor item.
There we go. This is the red ring.
But Truant Gamer's not going to turn that down because that ×4 defense can be very helpful.
Look at that. Excise Blue's back here in level 4. Did we see what the floor drop in 4 was?
Don't think so.
Yeah, we're still looking for that bow. Now, it could be a fluke, and it could just have the level 9 could have the red ring, or as I suspected, red ring silver arrows are forced into level 9.
Bit late for that compass in level 4 game. And I believe Excise Blue just picked up the bow.
Ooh, that's big. So the bow was in level 4 all along. So now he's probably going to go back to... Is he going to go back to level 9 or is he going to gamble on another dungeon? In this case, I'd probably go back to level 9. But I don't usually run seeds like this. I don't even walk these seeds like that. I pretty much crawl through these seeds.
Yeah, seed like this is... It takes you gotta have a lot of experience to play these seeds extremely well.
Well, my difficulty is not necessarily remembering or forgetting, aspects. Mine's more towards the combat problems. I'm a little impatient when it comes to combat. In fact, I'm so impatient, I actually play these seeds with a fast forward button and save states because, well, I'm not interested in getting better. I'm just interested in solving the puzzle.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, that's a mega oh shoot. Well, looks like we're gonna have to go through there, maybe? Alright, there we go. Let's see. What direction? I will say though that the enemy set in level 9 is actually quite nice. I mean, not a single Wizrobe to be found. We're gonna go down this way here, and oh, this could possibly be an item. Those bombs on the floor, they might, you know. Here we go. Let's see what we got here. It is an item. It is the silver arrows.
Yep, we can
Excise
safely
blue.
assume that they were forced into 9, and with that, Excise Blue is in go mode. Now
Only
the
thing
only
we're
thing
missing
left
is
to do, find the pig, kill the pig, rescue the kidnapped. So now we are after that roar. I don't know if Excise Blue has found Ganon because we aren't able to use their audio.
But the good news is, though, is that it's probably likely Ganon is probably somewhere in, probably the upper ear, the upper left ear. Or it could be right there. Nope. There you go, dark room.
Yep, dark room got you baited. It's
Okay.
bombable, and this might be it. And it is, ladies and gentlemen, here's Ganon.
Oh, and interestingly enough, Ganon is in Ganon's room. You know what that means? It's one hit killed Ganon, but it also means too, well, it means we've got bacon. Unless you're not big on the bacon, but it also means too that Zelda's probably in her own room, which is why we couldn't check from the south, or from the north, I should say.
Yeah, from the north or the sides, as there's the door. The clock stops, the super ropes dead in their tracks, and with that, get your GGs in chat for Excise Blue, who finishes first on 9th overall with a time of 1:15:29.
And just to round out our top places, we've got Fearwolf finishing in first with a total time of 57 minutes and 40 seconds. Captain Green second, coming in second, or did I say Captain Green second? I mean Captain Green 7. I can read. 1 hour on the dot, 55 seconds. Got Random Effect in third with a total time of 106.21. Got J-Wade 614 in fourth place with 110.38. Chess Jerk in fifth with 110.46. We've got Unos in sixth place with 111.23. King Doll with 112.12 for seventh place. And we got Sis Crusher in 8 with 113.42. GG to everybody who finished off stream, and GG's to Excise Blue.
Yep, he joins us now in chat. GG.
GG's. I took that chance and I paid for it. Took the chance that maybe Ganon wasn't required and we paid for it.
It was a chance worth taking, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, with these seeds, you never know what's going to go on.
Yeah, you've got to have a backup. You've got to have, the thing you try first. Got to have a plan A. Got to have a plan B.
So I think the idea with these flags is take a look at your starting items, see what you have, see what you're able to do, and basically just snag all your Triforces and rush 9 to see if Ganon's even required on these flags. Sometimes, I've had 2 practice seeds that had just Zelda door was open. So, I mean, it's definitely worth the risk. I'm glad that I did end up finding all the levels before I went into 9. Because it gave me the ability to just kind of rush back and figure out which ones I needed and which ones I didn't.
So here's an interesting question. So how do you feel about the way it handles, Triforce requirements for level 9? I know that in the old Random Percent tournament, it had, you needed a certain amount of Triforces enter 9, but now it's different. You need all 8, and you start with some. How is that different?
It kind of incentivizes like which dungeons you take. I did, however, I knew that we started with 1 and 3. And I am glad at the fact that I did search through 3 and find that any key, because that kind of like blew the seed open for me. I wasn't key locked by anything. I am mad that I found 3 way after finding 4, because if I would have had keys in 4, I probably would have gotten that bow a lot sooner. Because I left that Gliok room without a key. I couldn't get the key on the other side of the river.
Yeah, we saw that. That was annoying.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, I mean, the seed went pretty well. I'm sad that the raft that I dug out of 8 wasn't required, because it would have been really nice.
Yeah. But you never know. There could be another seed where that raft's definitely going to be required.
My practice
You just don't know. You just don't know with these seeds.
Earlier had a raft blocked 7, which was required.
Now, if only there were a way to make it so the raft was more required than it was. Perhaps that's for another time.
I mean, like I was saying before, I'm still waiting for that ladder blocked ladder. So you've got to like find the secret. Yeah.
That's the only question. What's wrong with the logic, Fred?
Well, I mean, well, no, because in level 8 second quest, you have those one-way staircases. Well, what's to say that you couldn't have a one-way staircase leading into the middle of a Chevy room, and the step ladders in the middle as well?
Possibly.
Yeah, that's completely possible. I mean, maybe not for, as a randomizer, but I mean, if someone ever gets off, gets the chance to make a plandomizer.
Yeah, definitely could.
I mean, it's better than Wiggle Morph. That's another community.
If I had to guess, that sounds like something Super Metroid related.
Yeah. Yeah, not naming any names cross product. Excuse me.
So meanwhile, Truant is still in search of that bow. Now I will ask this.
Who was the
You were the
people in
first one.
Restream?
It was you, Truant, Bogey, and Sausage Link. You were the first one to go back into 4 to find the bow. I will ask this, though. Had the bow not been in 4, what would your next move have been?
I mean, I still hadn't found, what, was it 1? So, I mean, I only had a few overworld spots left to check. I did have Recorder No, I did find 1, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you found all the items in 1. Remember, second quest logic, so there's only 2 floor drops.
Yeah, I remember. I didn't have it marked on my tracker because I was already all right, let's go to 9. But yeah, no, probably if it wasn't in 4, it would have probably either been a 7 or an 8 dive. I would have had to have figured out, because I figured since I found Red Ring in 9, I figured that Vanilla 9 was on as far as items go. Or it just so happened to roll that way, because
I'm pretty sure the flag was on that it forced the red rings and silver arrows to level 9.
yeah, once I found that Red Ring, I kind of figured that flag was forced. Would have probably either been 6 or 7. 8 is an atrocity. There's more staircases in 8 than there are in 9, and you have one-way staircases, and it's not a fun dungeon in second quest.
I believe it.
It would have probably been either 6 or 7.
Yeah, we saw that 7 had the book on the floor.
Oh yeah, I did find that.
Yeah, you found the book, and you definitely picked up the bomb upgrade, which was the white sword.
Yeah.
So you cleared out 7. I think it was 4 that we figured was cleared out, except for the floor drop. Which, of course, with Heart Shuffle being on, sometimes you just forget, oh yeah, there's a floor drop too that you got to consider.
Yeah, I think when I was in 8 the first time, after I had found the floor drop and the one staircase item, and I saw the Triforce, and I was like, let's take that chance. I was like, this dungeon is like, what is it, like 38 rooms or something like that? And it's just...
It's a nasty dungeon.
It is.
Well, what's also nasty was that level 2.
Oh, gosh.
It was... I mean, I'm happy that Wizrobes rolled super, super low. 3 white sword slashes and they were done. But yeah, it was pretty gross.
Now imagine that with max HP.
Oh, God, no. Just
swordless.
no.
I think you would have seen a lot more forfeits had that been the case.
Yep. I can confirm. Folks would have been like, not quit, comment. Nope.
I mean, you're looking at the person who would forfeit in a room full of Wizrobes even if they rolled vanilla.
All right, I'm gonna jump out. Thanks for the commentary and the restream. I appreciate that, and thanks for allowing me to be restreamed on the...
Yep, have a good night and stay safe.
Yep, GG's.
GG's.
Ooh, that's an unfortunate death for Truant Gamer. We can say that he's in the right dungeon, as is Bogey, who also takes a death. They just need to find the right path.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, we do have 3 more finishers that we can run by. Shaddy rounds out our top 10 with a time of 1:18:43, followed by Amazing Toaster in 11th with a time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, 40 seconds, and I'm a sock in 12th with a time of 1:23:11.
So while we were talking, it looks like everybody here is in level... Well, Sausage was in level 9, and we've got double 4s here in with Bogey and Truant Gamer, so they're looking for that bow. Hey, I just realized something. The D is in the D.
No, Jiggly.
I guess you could say that this is, I guess it's deceptive.
Yeah, well, here's the thing about this particular the path they gotta take to get to the bow appeared to be very specific. Because that wall that Truant was pushing on has no give.
Yeah, don't forget level 4 does have one-way secret passages, too. So, you can push from one direction, but you can't push back from the other.
And I believe the way to go starts with a left turn past this Gleeok. And then the required flute to kill this Dig Dogger.
But I don't think that flute was required, was it?
Based off the path I'm seeing, you had to kill the Dig Dogger with it, and said flute meant recorder. So, yeah,
Oh, wow, so the recorder was required. Yeah, because I think this was... Nope, that wasn't the room. And this can't be the room, because this is a dark room.
And that's the compass, so the room you want is this room right here, and you just have to clean out 2 gels.
Nope.
And just like that, Bogey has the bow. Just has to go back to the silvers. And now Truant has the bow as well. So we could have ourselves a pretty tight race for second on Restream. Stay tuned for that, folks.
Mm. So yeah, so not only was the ladder was required, the recorder was required. Wow.
Yeah, we know the power bracelet was required.
You mean to even get in there? No, that's. Oh no,
That
I'm
was for
talking about.
another dungeon, though.
Oh, I'm just talking about to get to that bow.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. So now, Truant Gamer's got to make his way over to the left. Truant didn't pull out the silvers yet, so he's still got to go a couple more over. If I remember correctly, the silvers were. He's going to go up first here and check this. It looks like he's going to find the pig first before finding the silvers.
Yep, because...
Oh no, he has the silver arrows. What am I
I
talking
was about to say, he already got the silvers earlier, so...
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to win the race for second, barring something very interesting from happening, put it that way.
But considering it's one hit, kill Ganon, he's pretty much got this in the bag. And then, you know what? That's always the nice thing.
Center in the room.
One hit kill Ganon. I mean, it's better than max HP Ganon.
Yeah, guys, trying to stun lock Ganon with the wood sword, it's harder than a number of runners make it look.
Yeah,
admittedly.
I don't think I've been able to nail that trick. I can barely get Ganon's pattern as it is. I know it goes in a figure 8, but...
And with that, get your GGs in chat for Truant Gamer, who finishes second on the Restream as Bogey gets the silver arrows. And 14th overall with a time of 1:30.27. Fryteeth snagged 13th with the 1:27.15.
Ooh.
So at this point, Bogey's looking for where Ganon is. We are now joined by Truant Gamer, GG.
Yeah, thanks. GG's.
So that certainly was an interesting seed, where that bow in deep in 4, whew, that was a tough spot for that.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised at some of the times with how that was, but I guess if you dug 4 right away when you found it.
Yeah, and in some cases, it's a question of whether you're able to dig 4, as I believe it was Ice who was key blocked from going that route, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway because you needed the recorder to take down the dig dogger. There were a lot of required things for that route.
Yeah, and generally when I play these flags, I just try and get in a 9 as quick as I can because you got a 50-50 shot of not needing any of that stuff. So I figure, forget it, get in a 9 and try and check the door first. And I assumed from the meta that that's what happened, and then when I saw she was locked, I said, oh no, where's that bow?
Yeah, it's worth noting that out of the 4 restreamed runners, Ice got there first into level 4. You and Bogey got there at the same time, with the difference there being you already had the silver arrows, so you just went right back into 9, took on Ganon, 1-hit KO, center of the room, and that's all she wrote there.
Yeah, and that's the other reason why I don't mind blitzing a 9, because at the very least you're getting information, and tonight being a little friendlier of a 9, getting the items out of there was a lot easier as well. And once I got the red ring, I figured, all right, silvers are in here too, just get them. I've got everything else figured out. Go get the bow. It'll be quick back through.
So in terms of routing, that seemed to work out pretty well. By the way, it was trying to think, where was it in 3 that the any key was? Ah, well, it's inconsequential. So, while we're at it, thoughts on the upcoming tournament?
I'm looking forward to it. I think you're going to see a lot of, I don't want to say upsets, but you're going to see a lot of finishes that you wouldn't expect. You'll probably see some really quick times, like the first time they did one of these random tournaments, and I think it'll be a lot of fun.
I think I do remember the first random tournament to some degree, but with some differences. Like here, we don't have an open 9 right away. So just minor tweaks here and there that I think is going to make the format very interesting to play. Well, and watch as well.
Yeah, I remember that the random percent tournament is actually when I started watching the randomizer. I didn't even start putting my hat in the ring for commentary until towards the end of the Pentaforce tournament. So I actually barely remember the random percent tournament.
I think for me, that was around the time I started really watching randomizers in general on Twitch. Because, I mean, it started with A Link to the Past, then Zelda 1 Rando.
Yeah. Actually, the funny thing is I actually, I discovered the Zelda 1 randomizer through watching a Twitch, player that I don't care to mention because of drama, but after they did section on the Zelda 3 randomizer. So I got into that, but the funny thing is that I actually realized that I already had a copy of the Zelda 1 randomizer on my hard drive, downloaded in 2015. The only reason why I never got into it was because I had an accident and I was away from my computer for about 6 months, and so I completely forgot there was a randomizer. Until after rediscovering it in around, I would say, 2017.
Well, life is a funny way of... Life has its ironies. I will put it that way, leave it at that. As Bogey has wrapped in 17th with an official time of 1:36:33. Other finishers between now and then would be Zarnax, 42, 15th at 1:32:40, and Mr. Cab with a 1:34:39 and 16th. And we are now joined by Bogey. GG. Probably try to get Bogey. We've got Sausage Link close to the right path, is making the right turn at Albuquerque instead of the left turn, as the old saying goes. Nice clock. Might have been trying to force a 10 count drop, but it was inconsequential.
There we go. Had my microphone muted.
No worries. GG's, Bogey.
Thank you.
GG.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a slightly frustrating seed. I think in hindsight, I probably should have just dug into 1 and 3 while I was in there. Especially knowing that in hindsight that the recorder and heart container in 1 were right on the floor, like 2-3 rooms in. And I'm guessing that the recorder would have brought you to unbeaten dungeons. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that could have helped save some time because I think 1 was I discovered that pretty early on, but I knew I had that Triforce, so I'm like, all right, I'm just going to dig the dungeon that I haven't beaten, or at least that I don't have the Triforce for, and I think that added a bunch of time.
Well, level 1 wound up turning it into the quintessential drive-through. If you had the ladder, just take a left, get the recorder, head up a room, get the heart container, up 1 more room, kill the Gleeok for the Triforce, drive on through to the next window.
Yep.
Actually, no, that dig dogger wasn't required. That was a workaround.
So yeah, that was frustrating, and then yeah, I mean, I just took a chance that Zelda or Ganon might not have been forced. I think pretty early on, I saw Thurwolf time in with like a 53-minute dot done, and
Yeah, it was like a 57 and change, which is just honestly, I don't know what Thurwolf does with this game to where he's so good at it.
Yeah.
But he makes some of these tough seeds look relatively pedestrian.
yeah, I saw that out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe bow and silvers aren't required. And then I got into 9 about 1 hour 10 minutes in. I'm like, okay, maybe and then I found the compass, and I was excited, and then realized I had to go dig in for a bow and silver.
Well, all 4 of you on Restream made the exact same play. Go to 9, blitz it, and rush it. And Sausage Link now has the bow.
Yeah, and I think that's probably going to be my approach to the majority of these seeds, especially just given that Ganon's not required, or at least not necessarily required. It'll probably pay off 50% of the time, and 50% of the time it won't. But I think when it does pay off, it'll save a ton of time.
Yeah, and when it does pay off, believe me, it's gonna the gambles you make pay off in a randomizer. Generally speaking, they feel really good. When you add random percent to the mix and you get and those gambles pay off, honestly, I think it feels just that much better.
Yep, absolutely.
It looked like Sausage Link was weighing their options before diving back into 9. No silvers yet, does have to dig those out. And unfortunately, that's the long way into the shoot room. Maybe a workaround here. Use last bomb. Yep, but the wall doesn't give. And that is a waste of a turnstile room if I ever saw one. So, interesting. That's the thing from the last tournament. Oh well. It's fun to look back.
Mhm.
Let's see. Sausage Link down the stairs, has the silvers, is in go mode. Always a good call to light a dark room, especially in second quest when you've got more room type. Says that was a turnstile room. Now, while this won't mask Ganon's roar, because we already know where the pig is, bosses like Aquamentus will mask Ganon's roar, just like a Patra can. Man, how many turnstiles room are there in this 9? Either way, we are getting close. And now it... Super ropes. Intimidating, but nah, not really. And for the final time tonight, ladies and gentlemen, here's Ganon.
There you go. Sausage Lane's gonna set up the stun lock, which is completely unnecessary.
Yep, and then we got our last bit of bacon.
There we go. Door opens. And that's it. Everybody's done.
And with that, Sausage Link has finished the time of 146.24 for 22nd overall. Between finishers, we had Jake Hoper finish at 1 hour, 40 minutes, 20 seconds in 18th. 19th, Dr. J with a 140.59. C-Phil in 20th with a 143.08, and the Comet has a question. How many red bubbles can one seed spawn? That really is a fair question here. Tom J took 21st with a 145 flat. We are now joined by Sausage Link. GG.
Thank you.
Yeah, that certainly looked to be a rough seed on a number of different standpoints, between the combat with the whiz robes, having to find that Ganon is required with red ring and silver's force to 9. Take us through it.
Well, that one, it just seemed like there were red bubbles everywhere, and blue bubbles were in really short supply. And with everything being second quest dungeons, I decided to just try to take that chance once I had all the Triforce pieces. And, hoping Ganon wasn't required, but ended up being.
It was the same chance that everybody took on Restream, and it didn't quite pan out. Which is unfortunate, but hey, random percent be like that sometimes.
Yes, it be.
So, one thing I am curious about is thoughts on the upcoming tournament.
I'm just glad I'm not in the bracket with Saver and Fury SK, and I don't know, that upper right quadrant was stacked with top runners, so I'm glad I'm not in that part.
I don't blame you for saying that, because whoo, that would literally, yep, that'd be like, GG's. Suppose while I'm at it, I should go and look for that bracket, because well, that's well. And unfortunately, the information that was linked when using the Z1R command was for last year's tournament, so bear with me, folks. So, I guess with that, we should wrap it up for the evening. Any final thoughts on the seed? Any final thoughts on the upcoming tournament?
No, I'm looking forward to doing commentary on the tournament.
As am I, because when you put a randomizer inside a randomizer, who knows what could happen.
Hopefully not a 4-hour seed.
As somebody who has been there for very long marathon seeds in past tournaments, I can agree and attest to that statement wholeheartedly.
I've got nothing else to add, so.
Just a quick look at the schedule for me. The only thing that I see that would be active at this time would be Final Fantasy I Rando Spring Tournament 2020. And looking at tomorrow, there are a number of different games scattered throughout the day, including a link to the past Randomizer League, Azure Dreams, Metroid Fusion, plus the Combo Miser Weekly Race, plus Zelda 1 random percent tournament matches will be getting scheduled in the very near future, so stay tuned for that.
I was going to say, what time's the Metroid Fusion match at?
That's a 3 o'clock match.
Oh, okay. So I like to watch the Fusion. If you've ever seen Metroid Fusion, 100%, oh boy, it's an interesting one.
Yeah, it's a heck of a speed run overall. In fact, the 2D Metroids have some of the most technical speed runs out there. I mean, sure, Zelda speedruns have their execution, but in terms of pure, raw, technical speedrunning, I find the Metroid runs to be tough to beat. That's just me.
I mean, as much as we love randomizers, I mean, some games like Metroid Fusion are impossible to randomize without remaking the game. So, they have their own kind of love, but it's almost like, it's almost hypnotic the way it is. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I think we're pretty much ready to wrap up.
Yep, that's gonna do it for tonight. Everybody stay safe, take it one day at a time, and watch out for Lionels.